One of my most asked questions is how I got my hair from this broken, damaged, brittle, bleached hair to how it is now. So I thought it was about time I do a very in-depth video explaining this in as much detail as I possibly can, covering as many areas as I possibly can. I basically decided one day that I needed to grow my hair out and stop bleaching it when I got my last sort of full head of highlights, and I'd recently moved to London. I think the water change didn't help the situation, but I also wasn't really taking care of my hair, considering I've been bleaching it for like the longest time. I just wasn't taking care of it, and that last full head of highlights it all went a bit downhill from there. My hair was just snapping off. It wasn't actually growing because it maybe would grow a little bit and then it would just snap off at the ends, and I wasn't really very educated with how to look after my hair either, so it just wasn't, like, there was no chance at that point. So around the time I was like getting into social media, I got approached by a hair salon to come in and do like a bit of a hair transformation, and I didn't know how long that was going to last, but I was obviously like going to take up the opportunity. I went in for a consultation, and that's when I met David, who still does my hair to this day, and we just decided to do sort of a healthy hair journey with them. What we did first was a clear gloss, I believe, and then decided to do a sort of find my root colour, which had already grown out at that point, and then do like a gloss with that colour. So then I sort of adjusted to darker hair because I just always see myself as blonde for the longest time. Yeah, it basically went like that for a while, where I was just getting trims and glosses, and just trims and glosses, and fairly frequently as well, just because the ends were just so broken. I was kind of disguising it with doing my sort of bouncy blowout, but like when it was dead straight, it looked really broken. So in the meantime, I started looking more into hair care, and it was starting to come up on my social media more, and TikTok was really all about the sort of scalp oiling. I kept trying different things when I didn't do enough research, so I started to like tell myself, right, I need to actually look into this properly. So I looked into hair care. I think I got the Ordinary multi-peptide serum to start off on like that scalp serum hype. Then I got like a microfiber towel because I'd never used that before, scalp massager, and started to learn about scalp stimulation, and just started getting into more hair care. And then also in the process, I was sort of growing my social media, so I was starting to get gifting. I got some gifting from Vegamore, who had a scalp serum, like a density one, so I tried that for a bit. In terms of scalp serums, I've never been so consistent where I've seen a massive improvement and growth with a scalp serum, but obviously if you're stimulating your scalp and using something for hair growth, like, it's not going to be a bad thing, but I just never used it for long enough. I also really got into using K18. I think I got through a whole bottle of that, and that was something I really enjoyed when I was trying to like repair the hair that was there. But the thing with that is, I don't know, I'm not an expert at all, but from what I've research in all these years is you can't really, like, you can help fix it, but it's really just about growing that new healthy hair, which I was sort of not thinking about as much at the time. What I was trying to do was like use less heat and just like saturate my hair in anything that was going to help it get healthy. And the problem that I think I did, looking back, is people were saying you should wash your hair as little as you possibly can, and I sort of followed that, and I would be like oiling, my hair would be so greasy. Like my hair type is really greasy anyway, and it would get so greasy and I'd leave it for so long, dirt would build up, then I would put like a scalp oil on top, let that sit for ages, even sleep in it, then wash it out. And the problem was I wasn't actually stimulating my scalp at all. It was just getting built up with oils and grease, and it actually, after researching quite a bit, that's also not so good for your hair, well, for your scalp, because you're obviously affecting the new growth that's coming in. It's like blocking it, if that makes sense. Like, in simplest terms. I think it's blocking it so it's not growing. So I think I potentially hindered my growth for a little bit over the first year. At this point I was also using Olaplex, and I really liked the Got2b Guardian Angel heat protectant. Obviously I was really getting into making sure if I am using heat, I'm using heat protection a lot. So basically for a while I'd be getting my trims with David and it would just not be growing because we were letting it grow a little bit, then cutting it, letting it grow, and it was staying sort of the same length for quite a while, to be honest. And I do think that was just because I still had quite a lot of bleach in the ends that kept having to be cut away. And then obviously from what I said about potentially my hair wasn't growing, I was stopping my hair growth. And I heard this really interesting thing that makes so much sense, but you just don't think about it, that your hair, I don't think you can speed up your hair rate. Like, you can't speed up the growth. You can get it back to your normal rate that it would grow at if you've maybe hindered it. So what I was doing by like making all the oils and grease build up too much, that was hindering the growth. So I would always say just like scalp health is so important, but we'll get into that more. I'm trying not to be overwhelming because I know there's like a lot of information, but I'm hoping that the information is helpful in some ways. Another product I was loving was Living Proof Triple Bond Complex. I'm still using that at the moment. I love that for just something to strengthen the hair. And I started really getting into the idea of scalp health, so using Fable and Mane products, which I still use now. Then I learned that obviously their hair oil is for all hair types. It's like much of a thinner consistency. It's not thick, it's buildable. You can use as little and as much as you need depending on your hair type. So I love Fable and Mane. That's my go-to scalp oil if I get quite a lot of questions on that sort of thing. And I use that sort of every 2 weeks, every week, every 2 weeks, depending on how often I need to wash my hair. And then as my hair got healthier and the bleach was starting to grow out, and the ends were healthier, I was just really still focusing on that sort of when your hair's wet before you're using heat, before you're blow drying. It's those products that really are important. Your hair is obviously very delicate when it's wet and when it has hair oil in, so you always have to be careful with what you're doing when it is wet or has a load of oils in before washing. So I love a leave-in conditioner. If you can find a leave-in conditioner that also works as a heat protectant, even better. I love the Fable and Mane one. There's the Moroccan oil one. I'm gonna do probably a video with all the products I love another time because I've got some favourites which you'll see throughout this video, but I will do a more in-depth video on the products that I love another time. And some of the things that I do religiously now in the past year is using a hair oil on my mids and ends every single day, even like morning and night. The one that I love the most is the Coco and Eve Miracle Hair Elixir, and I also love the Kerastase Elixir Ultime. I love the consistency of them both. I also love to wash my hair when it is getting greasy, like, so it is more often, but I try to use as little heat as possible. But if I am using heat, it is making sure to use a heat protectant, so it's those leave-in conditioners as well, ones that double up as a heat protectant. Fable and Mane, Moroccan oil, Kerastase Ultime, that also is a hair oil and a heat protectant. I love a detox shampoo. Love the Coco and Eve detox shampoo. I'm using Nioxin at the moment because I got sent it and it's meant to be great for hair growth, so I'm using that. And it also makes my scalp feel so clean, like it's squeaky clean. That's what I'm looking for when I'm washing my scalp. I don't want any kind of residue. It just needs to be squeaky clean and light on my scalp. I also tend to use a hair mask when I wash my hair rather than a conditioner. For me, I'm just like, conditioners are good. If it's there, I'll use it, but I have so many hair masks I love, and if it's going to be even better to put a hair mask on your hair, then I'll probably do that. And Heatless curls, oh my god, I bang on about it all over my social media, but Heatless curls, I love the Eternal Muse bonbons, and this is from TikTok Shop, but there's loads like it, and this is more of the kind of like they're more wiry. This one's like not got a wire in it, it's really squishy like a pillow, and this one's like wiry. And I love these because it just obviously it helps your blowout last. You don't need to refresh your hair with more heat, you can just sleep in these and your blowout lasts. That is one thing for me that I am struggling with. Like, yes, this helps my hair look great, but making it last is where I'm struggling now that my hair is healthier. When I had bleach, my blowouts would last and the curls would last, but now not so much, and I haven't really done much to it today, so there's not much style to hold. Like, it's just a straight blow dry, so I'll probably curl it later. But having layers definitely helps. So if it is just straight, it's still doing something. Like, it's still giving, I don't know what, but it's doing something. So I love to have layers in my hair to help that. But yeah, since it's been healthy, it's been really hard to help it keep the style for longer, and I'm really struggling with that. So that's something I'm going to work on, and hopefully I'll find the product or the hack to get it to stay. I'm trying to think if I've left anything out. I do get a lot of questions on my hair type. I have quite fine hair. My hairdressers have said I have fine hair, but a lot of it. I don't know if that makes sense. So actually, like, it is, there's not, I don't know, there is a lot of it, but it's not thick, but obviously the styling that I do helps to give the illusion of it looking thick, and layers help so much with that. Another question I get pretty much every day is, what's your hair colour? I'm very proud to say this is my natural colour now. It's taken me a while, but yes, it is. I have ummed and ahed about sort of doing different colours. Like, I was going to do like a copper this season, but no, I'm really enjoying my natural hair colour at the moment and the kind of different colours that are going through it. So yes, sorry about that, because I do get quite a lot of questions on that. And maybe I need to ask my hairdresser to help match the colour so that I can tell people how to get a similar shade. So I think that might be it. I'm hoping I covered enough for this video. If it does generate more questions, I'll do another with more detail, but I think that answers some questions. And yeah, I definitely need to do a video on the hair products that I love and I use all the time. Yeah, I hope that helped in some way, and let me know if you try any of the products I suggested, or let me know if you have any other questions specific to your hair journey. Thank you so much for watching. I love talking about hair. I could talk about hair for hours and hours, so I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.